Okay, myths about spirituality part 2. So if you didn't see part 1, check that out. That was longer. This is not going to be that long of a video, but I wanted to talk about something in particular and something that I've been thinking about a lot. And that is that, no there's not hardcore rules to what type of spiritual gifts you're going to have. And I want to address that because sometimes people will tell someone they're doing something wrong. They'll tell someone that that's not true. They'll tell someone, well, and they'll make it very, very complex. And I mean, personally, with spirituality, with spirit, sometimes it's really not all that complex, right? You sense something, you feel it, you receive messages in your dreams. Some people might even do like astral projection, whatever the case may be. There's not, and by rules, here's what I mean. Of course, there are spiritual practices related to certain cultures. Of course, there are just different groups of people who have different customs and traditions that are unique to them. And so I'm not negating that. But what I'm saying is sometimes people will make it very complicated. And, I think being very earth-based, sometimes like with my spirituality, what I've noticed is I benefit more from simplicity, when one of my first journeys into spirituality, I bought all these books and I have these books about spells and things like that. This is when I was younger. And for me, what works, I have candles, they have spiritual meetings, I have oils, I use tarot, and that is kind of in myself. And that's what I sometimes even tell people, tarot, the cards aren't magic, you are. Or, you get, it's not just about you. Obviously, we know if you're getting messages from the spiritual realm, if you're getting universal messages to help someone, that's great. The cards are not the magic, okay? It's within you and your connection to universe. And does the universe and spirit want to use you to communicate a message to everyone else? And so what that said is, what it means is that, you have to build up your own spirituality. It doesn't matter what you have, what you buy. If you are not in tune yourself, if you're not listening to yourself, and sometimes it requires some of you who are very logical to pause and be like, wait, I just got a bad feeling about this person or this situation. Something's not right. And just follow that thought. Look for evidence that you're right. A lot of times what we do with our intuition, we shake it off. I can't see the problem, so that's no problem. No, just tuck it in the back of your mind and be alert and be vigilant. Because there's different ways to have intelligence. There's spiritual intelligence, there's emotional intelligence, there's the intelligence where you take a test and someone says you're intelligent. But that is not the only way to really show that you can, you're smart, or that you have some level to your understanding. What else did I want to say about this topic briefly? I do think we're here to get different messages, and that is why you have people doing different things in spirituality. So that's what I want us to understand. When you go on your spiritual journey, and when you find somebody who is, a lot of times you want to duplicate their experience. Oh, well, that person reads tarot, I'm going to do it too. Or that person reads Reiki, I'm going to do it too. Or that person does spells, I'm going to do it too. That person does rituals, I'm going to do it too. You have to really listen to what works for you and build that up over time. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things that we can think about and notice within the spiritual realm, but everything's not for everybody. That's why you don't resonate with certain people. That's why there's certain people I'm like, we can talk about things, but we're not the same soul tribe. We're not the same tribe. And there are people who do way more work on this topic than I do when it comes to your soul group, or they call it. There's way more people who do this work and they talk more about that. But what I'm saying is those people you click with spiritually, you guys are probably here to deliver a similar message. Okay? You're here to deliver a similar message. You're here to do a similar mission. I'm not talking about your North Node or anything like that, but you're part of the same group, right? Same soul group. Whereas people that you don't resonate with, you can have a person and they do readings too, or they are into astrology, or they're into something, but it doesn't click. We're not of the same group. We can talk about things or we can like each other's content, but we're not here to do the same thing, and that's fine. I tell people all the time, find who resonates with you. Every reader's not for everybody. I don't need to read for everybody. I find that the people that I read for are the people that I'm meant to read for. And so, with those types of, situations, it's important to understand the energy that you're exchanging with someone else. Spiritually, there shouldn't be conflict. Spiritually, if you're in tune with another person, it flows. There are people I've never met before. Our conversations flow. Okay. There was someone, one of my clients, I'm about to do her reading. We were just exchanging some emails and we were just talking about certain experiences. And I'm just like, yes, I've experienced that too. And it wasn't necessarily something that's super, super common, but this is what I'm talking about, where like when you attune yourself to your own nature, your own spiritual nature, your then frequency, right? Radio stations, old school radio stations. Those of you who know, we used to ride in the car with your parents. We didn't have like the fancy computerized radio. It was dial, or you moved the thing over to the radio station, but you got farther away from your area, it was staticky because you weren't tuned into where you're supposed to be. So that is what I'm talking about with the spirituality thing of like the people that you're going to relate to are those that you don't have to finagle the radio station to get it tuned in. You just locked into the person. Okay. And that could be physical, the people that you actually know. It can be just people that you meet, maybe people that you're only meant to have one conversation with, but there's still something there where you recognize each other beyond these titles that we have in this world. And so that's the point that I wanted to make about gifts. And I also, one of my other subscribers, we were talking about 12th house stuff. Not 12th house stuff. What were we talking about? I think he asked me a question about draconic charts or something like that. And one of the conversations I had, no. Somebody was asking me about, do I think the law of the universe is related to astrology? We're having a conversation. And one thing that I do think is I said, like, if you feel that, then that's the message for you. We are not all here to deliver the same message. We're not here. In any ancient culture that had god and goddess worship, everyone didn't do the same thing. All the goddesses did not do the same thing. The gods did not do the same thing. You had different ones responsible for different things. And I personally think that's what spirituality is. Everybody's not going to be a tarot reader. Everyone is not going to be an astrologer. Everyone is not going to be a, practitioner of witchcraft. Everyone cannot, do certain things. And we have to stay sometimes in our lane. And I think for people who are new, it's like, find what you are good at, not just what you're interested in. What you're interested in can help see, right? And you test things out. But like I said, if I had walked into this and saying, I'm going to be everything spiritual for everybody, I wouldn't be good at what I'm doing. And again, I'm always improving. I'm always trying to improve. I'm always researching and things like that. So I haven't hit my peak yet of where I want to be. But at the same time, it's like, if we were to do that, there are people who are just really gifted. Maybe they just have multiple purposes in this life of the gifts that they're supposed to give. But as far as the 12th house, or as far as anybody who's very spiritual, don't put pressure on yourself to be what someone else is. Respect their work for what they can do. Like I said before, I know someone personally. She does Reiki reading. She's an energy teacher. She's an energy practitioner. That is not what I don't give those services. I can't do it. She's the bodily connection to heal people in that way. I don't do that. I heal through words or through spiritual advice and things of that nature, interpretation, messages and things like that. Like, that's the way I work. But if I tried to do what she was doing and she tried to do it, you know what I mean? Like, you have to sometimes stay in your lane and understand that you are a part of a group. If you're spiritual, you don't have to be spiritual, but if you are a person that feels that you're here for a purpose beyond just being here. And those of us who felt that way forever, it's like, you have to find the thing that makes you feel like, oh, wow, this is what I'm supposed to do. I have these abilities to do something that helps people in this way. This is my bucket. This is what I should be doing, as opposed to trying to relate to everybody. You're going to lose who you are. And it's best to be, of course, being relatable is always great, but it's best to wait and really be you. And then you're going to attract the people you're supposed to attract, because they're going to recognize it's a soul connection. You get what I'm saying? This is why, we go beyond. Yes, it's great to look good. It's great to be presentable. You go to work, you got to look presentable. If you're going on a date, I'm sure you guys, you look presentable. It's important. I'm not saying that it's not. We do things. We go to the dentist. We do things to improve what we look like and our health and things like that. However, what we want to be careful of is like, that is why you see someone's soul. That is why you connect to somebody. Like, I don't even know this person. Why do I connect to them? And again, you might not even never have a conversation. Or you have a conversation one time. It's just a great conversation. That person you met randomly on that train that one day. And there was that conversation. But if there wasn't anything to keep you bonded together, but you were part of that same soul group here for the same mission. So, this is what I wanted to say before I leave. I was talking to one of my clients and about to do her reading soon, and we were talking, and she was talking about how sometimes she'll have an idea and she won't go for the idea. She'll have this innovative idea, and then she'll realize like later somebody else had the same idea and they get credit for it, or they make it big. And I was like, I've experienced that before too. And it got me thinking that I really feel like some of us are here to deliver certain messages, and some of us get certain universal messages, and we're vessels for that message. And when we don't do anything, universe, creator, whatever you believe in, because we all have different creator beliefs, and that's why, like, for some things I keep it general, but we all have different beliefs. But what I'm saying is, whenever you get that inspiration and you don't follow it, and then you see down 2 months later, a year later, somebody has your idea, you're like, but I thought that was mine. I think that is really, it happens because you guys are part of the same, maybe soul group, right? Or maybe that message was supposed to come out. You were supposed to create that thing. You were supposed to create that blog. You're supposed to create that project. You were supposed to create that video. You were supposed to do something with that energy, but you didn't. And now that's going to someone else. I feel like that's the only way to, and again, like I said in my other video, and somebody else has said this before, every idea is not 100% unique or yours, right? So even like this video I'm about to post, what moon phase were you born under? Of course, I've read books on this. Of course, I've seen other people's videos on this. But of course, I have to put my own take on it because, I like to take a topic and then not be influenced by anybody else and just run with what I want to say, all right? I save my research for my research, and I save my content, creativity for my content. But at the same time, that's not original. There's somebody else that has a video on the same topic. But my goal is to do it in a different way, or to do it in my way, right? For the people that resonate with me, there are people that might resonate with that reader or read that astrologer. Point I was trying to say before I leave off this with this is sometimes that's what it is. Maybe we get messages from the universe of what we're supposed to do. And it's like we get little assignments. And honestly, obviously we have things we have to do right now. Like I have to go into work right now. But we get little messages from the universe. We get little stirrings. And some things maybe originate from us and what we've going through that day. And some things maybe just really come to some people who are more in tune with that universal type of energy. Something has to get done in this world. But when you decide you don't want to do it and you don't want to put that energy out there, it's going to go to somebody else. So that's what I wanted to say about that. If you saw this video, please look at the other video. I have the Myths of Spirituality Part 2. Is it spirituality myths? I don't remember what I called it. Myths about spirituality? Myths of spirituality? I don't know. I'm going to link it. And also, probably going to do a Part 3, but I just wanted to get this message out there.